Hey guys, Paul Reed fan here. Back at it with another video, ranking every NBA team and one thing to look forward to next season. And this is actually part 2, if you haven't seen part 1, where I go through 30 through 16, ranking the NBA teams. Please go watch that. To catch everyone up, I'm going to list everyone I have ranked so far, 30 through 16. Starting at 30, I have the Nets, the Wizards, the Hornets, the Bulls, the Pistons, the Trailblazers, Toronto, Jazz, Spurs, Hawks, Rockets, Warriors, Clippers, Pacers, and at 16, the Lakers. Sorry, a little mind boggled for a second there if you caught that. Why am I talking about it? Let's just keep going. Fuck it. No cuts. Okay, let's jump right into it. Sorry, 15, I have the Heat. I do have the Heat over the Pacers, and I have the Heat over all the other shitters in the East. I think the Heat are going to be pretty good this year. I think they're actually going to be able to cement a good lineup and a good chemistry with Terry Rozier this year. Jimmy Butler is on a quote-unquote contract year. He says he wants to get paid. He still has years in his contract, you know, Jimmy. So he's going to be possibly playing to full level in the regular season, or at least 3/4 level, which is good if he's still solid. He's getting old. Doesn't matter. And Bam is coming off that Olympic run. So, yeah, Heat are going to be good this year. They have the best coach in the league. They also, I think they nailed in the draft with Kel'el Ware. He's 7 feet tall. He can stretch the floor, and he's a great rim protector. So, do they run twin tower lineups with Bam and him? I don't know. It would be crazy if they did, but I think the Heat are in for a better regular season than last year. I think Terry Rozier is going to be that guy that they thought he was going to be last year. They just didn't get enough run with him. Yeah, they're going to be good. Okay, 14, I have the Grizzlies. The West has just kept getting better. I think the Grizzlies were more highly rated a couple years ago because of the young talent getting better and people thinking like they were just going to keep going up and up. But they've been hurt, and other gunly activities have hindered them recently. Again, I'm kind of rating all these on semi, like no one gets like a season-ending injury. I'm accounting for some injuries, but not like season-ending. So I think if the Grizzlies are healthy this year, with no possible suspensions, I think they'll be pretty good. I think they'll be very contending in the West. I think they're going to get back to full health and realize, wow, the West got a lot better. I also love their draft. Zach Edey, I think, is the second best center. That's arguable. Are we calling like Alex Sarr and Rizachet wings? I guess we are. Whatever. I don't care. I'm just keep talking. Zach Edey, I think, is going to be a solid NBA center. I think he's going to feast on backup lineups. I think his post moves are going to be fantastic. I think he's a very smart defender. I think he's going to be great in drop coverage. And I think that if he does get a start, which he should, Jaren Jackson Jr. even talked about it in a recent podcast. They were running some fives with the starting lineup, the Grizzlies, and he said it feels great to be back at the 4. That's all he said. So I think that's what they're going to do. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is better at the 4. I think he's better as a roamer rather than a defensive anchor. Kind of like Giannis. Like Giannis is the best roamer and help defender near the rim in the league. He also can hold his own. That's what Brook Lopez. That's that Twin Towers as well. That style of defense can be really, really tough. And I think the Grizzlies, who are predicated off great defenses, Desmond Bane will be back too. They have a very, very, very good starting 5. And if they stay healthy and Zach Edey's that guy, then they can make a run. Now, next at 13, I was really, really going back and forth on these two teams. But I decided to give it to the Kings. Why? I believe in DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox and kind of Sabonis. I think DeMar is going to make them better than people think. Not actually, this isn't really actually putting them too high, I don't think. I think DeMar is an extremely high floor raiser. I think he did it with the fucking Chicago for years. He kept them as a playing team along with Zach LaVine, but not really. He's good. I like Zach LaVine too. He's going to be okay this year. But yeah, DeMar is going to be great. I can't wait to see him in the Kings uniform. He's going to look drippy, and they're going to have the most clutch offense ever. Two clutch player of the year winners. It doesn't super matter. But yeah, Malik Monk still great off the bench, won sixth man of the year. You know him. Sabonis, he got an MVP vote. Don't know if that. Yep, MVP candidate, caliber player. I'll leave it at that. No more talking. At 12, I have the Suns. Now the Suns they're so hard to rank. Because do I want to put them lower than the Grizzlies and Kings, who I think could be better than them? Or do I want to put the Suns super high because they have fucking Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal? So I kind of land in the middle. I put it at 12. I think they had a good offseason. They re-signed that O'Neal guy. I think that's his name. Probably not. Great research on the video. I just didn't look at the Suns too much because I knew. They also got Tyus Jones. Yeah, it's Royce O'Neal. I'm not tripping. Oops. Okay, I can't cut anything. I'm just going to keep talking. Stop talking about it. They signed Royce O'Neal, who was great last year, and I think they got Tyus Jones on a great contract. Holy shit, he's fantastic. My opinion, they should start Tyus Jones, and they should move Bradley Beal to the bench, and he will be just as good or better than Malik Monk off the bench, and it will give their team some actual depth. They lost Eric Gordon, and they still have a center issue. And I don't think they can fix that center issue. And they're relying way too much on KD playing like a secondary rim protector role at his age. I'm kind of bouncing around a bunch of stuff like the Suns' issues. But let me just take a quick second to talk about their upside. Tyus Jones, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant in your starting lineup with Bradley Beal off the bench. That sounds disgusting. Doesn't matter who's put you around. Kevin Durant is coming off of a great Olympics. So is Devin Booker. Devin Booker got a lot more respect in, NBA stocks. If you're like social media stocks, I love Devin Booker. I've been high on Devin Booker. I think you're gonna see this year the chemistry get a little better, and if the coaching can find a way to get Bradley Beal in a perfect role, then I think they'll be pretty good. I have him in the middle here because they still have Kevin Durant, the greatest ISO scorer of all time. I don't know, what the fuck is that saying? I don't know. I just said it. And Devin Booker, top 2 shooting guard in the league. But yeah, that's where I have the Suns, 12. Next, I have 11. At 11, I have the Pelicans. The Pelicans are also a weird team to rank because if I'm just naming you great players, they have so many. But basketball is so much more than getting a bunch of good players together. I'll harp on the Sixers a little bit. God damn it. The 2019 team had so much great skills, but they didn't complement each other. Yes, they should have absolutely probably beaten the fucking Toronto, maybe. Toronto was so good. Kawhi was on a legendary run. Kawhi is so good, so underrated. Not really anymore. He gets talked about a lot. I'm going to tangent. Sorry. They have so many skilled players. Can they work together? And how the fuck do you fit them? CJ McCollum to the bench? He's been their guy. His shooting has been falling off a little bit in the playoffs last year. But before that, he was on a tear. Where's DeJounte Murray? Is he going to get his defensive skills back? After his Spurs all-defensive team, and he got traded to the Hawks, maybe it's because they don't have a defensive culture. Maybe because he's like, I made it. I got money. I'm just going to be a scorer now. He is not as good as defender as that all-defensive says. I still think he has potential. Not to be at that same level. I don't think he's ever going to get that level again. I think it's that big of a fall-off. But other than that, I think Zion is one of the best rim pressurers of all time. Obviously, they have B.I. I don't know what they're going to do with Brandon Ingram. Are they going to trade him? they do trade him, get a center, because that's another thing I want to talk about. Their center position. Are you starting Larry Nance this year? He's undersized. I'd like some of his skills. If he was 7 feet tall, start him, sure. But he's 6'9", 6'8"? I do like the Pelicans as a team. I've always been a Pelicans fan. I like Zion. I like CJ, kind of. He's okay. I like BI a lot. I like DeJounte Murray. Just chill, awesome players. And so I wonder how their roster construction is going to go around them. They need a center. That's my biggest thing. But also, what if they do, for whatever reason, have perfect chemistry, and they know when to shoot, and they have an extremely efficient offense with also having good defense? If they get a center, if they don't get a real center. Valanciunas was not cutting it. Valanciunas wasn't getting runs sometimes last year, just because of how limited he was. But yeah, Pelicans at 11. A lot of talent, and that's a good problem to have. Kind of. Anyway, 10, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. You're like, wow, they're above quite a lot of teams. Yes, they are. Donovan Mitchell is a top shooting guard, top scorer in the league. He's absolutely fantastic. And I think they didn't reach their defensive floor last year, but they were close to it, and I think it couldn't get worse than that. I think they were like the 8th ranked defense, which is still good. They were 2 years ago. If they were healthy, if they were fully healthy last year, I think they were hovering right around 50 wins. They didn't get there. All of the starters starting together, I think they only played around 30 games. 30 games. So if they're fully healthy last year, they easily get 50 wins. So that's why I have them so high. I think I don't know if the shot from Mobley ever is going to come. But I think I think you saw the floor of Darius Garland as well in the playoffs and everything. So combined with all of that, all of my thinkings of the Cavs, I think that they're going to have a better season than all those teams. I think they're going to be better on the defensive end, back to like 5th, 6th, like 4th ranked defense. And I think if Darius can do a little better and Donovan Mitchell stays Donovan Mitchell, which I think people saw, was like, wow, Donovan Mitchell is really good because he was putting up insane playoff numbers. I'll be like, wow, this guy is still him. Then you're gonna see it in the regular season of the Cavs. Again, a lot of these teams, it's like you bought stock in them, kind of like the Lakers, and then they failed you. So you kind of understand where the teams are and who they are. But then when you think about it again, they're like, oh, they're actually still pretty good. We just maybe overrated them. I think they're in that position. I think the Cavs could make a little sneaky second round exit push. But yeah, I do like the Cavs. They have them at 10. 10th ranked team in the league. It's pretty good. At 9, I have Orlando, and you're like, whoa, you just put them over all those other teams. And yes, I did. I am so unbelievably high on Paolo Banchero in this defensive unit. Holy shit, can they play defense? Now, I don't think they're going to do it a lot, but let's start off with the Christian man, Jonathan Isaac. That dude might be the best defensive player in the league, and that's not even crazy for me saying that. He's that goddamn good at defense, and he comes off their bench sometimes. I think he did start sometimes in the playoffs, and I think that's what they're going to keep. I think they're going to keep, like, they'll maybe start him a couple times in the regular season, and then they're going to throw him a couple times in the playoffs. That's a quick Jonathan Isaac tangent. He is fantastic. Now, going to their offseason, they brought in KCP. I've seen Nuggets fans. I've seen Nuggets fans on podcasts. I've seen them in forums. Oh my gosh, they're like, what the fuck? What is our front office doing? I'll get more into the Nuggets later. But you lost KCP, a genuine offensive plus side with defensive plus side, like perfect high-level role player. It's the one thing Orlando struggled from, even their stars like Franz, it was shooting. He brings shooting, and he adds to the defense. So you got Suggs, KCP, Paolo, Franz, and maybe Wendell Carter as your 5. Wendell Carter's a really solid player too. That is a disgusting defensive team who's going to just absolutely eat these teams in the regular season because they're still young, they're still hungry. And if Franz can shoot better, by the way, I think he shot 20% in the playoffs last year. That's really where they lost to the Cavs because Paolo was fantastic, and Paolo's going to take another jump this year. Do I need to explain the potential of this team and why I have them at 9? Their defense is disgusting, and their offense just got a little better. And hopefully these young players keep taking steps forward. Now, 8. This is regular season, but I also genuinely believe this, is the Mavs. Uh-oh. Little low, don't you say? No, I don't. Let's go over the positives. They have by the way, should have predicated this. After this 9 spot, these next 8 teams are like the big dogs. If you're like, okay, these are like fun, like maybe conference finals pushes, but they're not getting the fucking conference finals. This is like second round conference final teams before this. These are the dogs that are going immediately conference finals to finals, like aspirations. And yeah, we got the Mavs, loser of last year's playoffs, the whole championship. Sorry, really rooting for them. Fuck Celtics. They have a top 3 player in the world. Luka Doncic is fantastic. He was even got a bum, I think he was on a bum leg last year. It was something. Sorry. They have Luka Doncic. He's one of the most electric players in the league. He's so unbelievably skilled. He plays at his own pace. What more do I need to say about Luka Doncic? He is a top 3 player in the world. And guess who they added? One of the best movement shooters of all time, Klay Thompson. I know he's old, but I think Klay and Steph, their game is going to they're going to stay around the league because they can shoot the 3 ball, the most important thing. And by the way, the weight that's going to be lifted off of Klay's shoulders from being a needed second option in a Warriors still hungry fan base, you're going to go to a third, fourth option behind Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. He is going to be the most open in his career. Maybe not. Steph Curry has the most gravity of any player of all time. On the perimeter, at least. Yeah, I know I might have said that right. Yep. Other than that, they obviously do lose. What's the guy's name? The good defender. Real ones will know. Yep, I'm not even gonna. PJ Washington. Is that it? Fuck. Sounds right. I'm gonna run with it. Where'd he go? Doesn't matter. Let's just keep running. I'm crazy. I don't have everything written down. I'm off the cuff here. Let's keep it going. Mavs at 8. I don't need to talk about them more. They're good. Suck my dick. 7. The Milwaukee Bucks. I struggled where to put them as well. I think I was like, who's better? Mavs or Bucks? Mavs or Bucks? Mavs or Bucks? Okay, quick last thing about the Mavs. I think they went on a perfect run last year. I don't think that's going to be replicated. I'm sorry. The T-Wolves choked. Luka was absolutely fantastic, and so was Kyrie. I don't think that's going to be repeated. They were perfect. Minus the finals. Whatever. But I live. Okay, last thing. Bucks over. Done with the Mavs. 7 Bucks. Damian Lillard is a top. Not Dame. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a top 2 player in the world. I still believe that. Top 3, top 4, I don't care. He is a absolutely fantastic, amazing basketball player who is modern-day Shaq with not a 3-ball or a free throw shot. Better free throw shot than Shaq. Barely. Whatever. What am I talking about? You're going to see an Giannis MVP season here, folks. You're going to see him lead this team to possibly second in the East. I don't think that's going to happen, but I see it maybe happening with the chemistry from Dame and him. I really think Giannis is going to go nuclear this year because the last 2 years, people have forgotten. It's kind of like voters fatigue. We're like, oh, Giannis is putting up the most efficient 30-point season ever. Oh, I don't care. Let's go look at the new guys. Let's look at Luka and Shea. Woohoo! No. Giannis is still that guy. And we really haven't seen Giannis in the playoffs the last 2 years. I know he's played a little bit, but it's not actually been that. And I think that might hurt the team because they're getting a little older. They're all getting older. Let's see if they can use the shell of Brook Lopez to still at least play positive minutes. And Dame, I think Dame has 2 more good years. I think last year it was a weird year. But I think Dame and Giannis are really going to be a great pairing this year that we thought they were going to be last year. I'm high on that pairing, and I'm high on the Bucks. Barring injury, I mean, Chris Middleton was hurt a lot. Bobby Porter's still great off the bench. Lopez, I hope he's still a positive. Their biggest negative is, of course, age, and that their ceiling is a second-round exit because their coach is a bumbling idiot who should quit coaching. Almost got in trouble there. Oopsies. 6 Nuggets. Yep, I dropped them this low because, holy shit, they have the best player in the world. First off, they do have the best player in the world, so I couldn't put them any lower. But the way that Jamal Murray has been playing everywhere has been upsetting, and they lost KCP, and they're going to be relying on young players that couldn't even get run in the playoffs to play legitimate minutes all year long. I mean, what did they do? They added Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, I'm not going to talk about Russell Westbrook. That's not enough needle mover for me moving them up or down. But yeah, they're going to start Christian Braun. Great defensively. I think he matches KCP's defense, but the offense is so unbelievably spread away. It's like night and day offensively. Who else? I have 2 other guys coming off the bench that are super good defensively that have like 0 offensive game. 0. One of them couldn't get run. I know. I just heard a video about it. I can't remember their names. There's so much jumbled in this brain. The Nuggets are still going to be very good. They're still going to be they are going to be on the back of the best offensive engine in NBA history. I just said that. Sue me. God, I'm already 22 minutes in. Fuck. Next 5 are on another video. No, I'm joking. I'm going to knock these out. Not quickly, but I'll try to keep it under 30. But yeah, Nuggets, they're relying way too much on young players, and it's going to bite them. I don't think those young players are going to pan out, but you still have Aaron Gordon. You still have Never Swing the Rock Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, who I still think is good. I do like Jamal Murray. He's just been in a little slump. He'll break out of it. Number 5, I have my team, the 76ers. You're like, wow, you didn't put them higher? No, I put them higher than the Bucks, Mavs, and Nuggets. I put them pretty high already. And, I mean, I just went over the entire offseason and what I think, but we added PG-13, who's going to be an absolutely fantastic third option. Maybe the best third option in the league. And, yes, I said that. Name a better third option. I'll wait. I'm thinking that's why I'm waiting. Nope. No better third option. And we got Joel Embiid, top 4 player in the league. Can play to a top 1 with his, like, if he's playing perfect. But yeah, I have him 4 ranked under Luka and Giannis. Don't hurt me, Sixers fans. I love Joel Embiid. And also, Tyrese Maxey's good. I'm whispering. Let's keep going. Knicks at 4. Oh, they're so fucking good. I hate it so much. I mean, their lineups are going to be fucking disgusting. They're having Josh Hart and DiVincenzo come off the bench, along with maybe, like, right now I'm having conversations with myself, like, who's getting pushed to the bottom of the bench? And Deuce McBride, who was torching us last year. Torching us from 3. He's getting pushed to the bottom of the bench. They are the deepest team in the NBA. Now, I was going back and forth in my head, though, because of who they lost. They lost Hardenstein. Ooh, that guy was good as hell. He was better than Mitch Robinson, who also has injury problems. I'm kind of trying to bar injuries in my mind, like I said earlier. Like, I'm going, like, they're in my list, there's no season-ending injuries. There might be, like, game, like, with the Sixers lower. I think they could push to, like, a second seed, maybe even first if the Celtics are really injured. But like I think it'll just be like load management. That's what I'm kind of accounting for, ish. Not really. I don't know. Don't look into my like consistency too much. Knicks at 4 though. They have the deepest team in the league. They have the best point guard in the East. I said that even though I love Trae Young and Dame. And I mean, I'll just go over this. I'll go over all the starting players. Jalen Brunson. Ugh. Mikal Bridges. Ugh. OG Anunoby. Ugh. Julius Randle. He's like just better Tobias Harris. And also you have Mitchell Robinson, the blockness monster, who's a good 5 for this team. And of course, I mean, the bench is great. Tibbs is going to play his guys. Josh Hart is like the embodiment of the Knicks. Donnie DiVincenzo. I hate that white bitch. Motherfucker. Stupid lineup. Shoots the ball really good, though. Anyway. Fuck the Knicks. Not the players. I actually like the players. Fuck New York. Fuck New York. There we go. Cool. Dirty-ass rat steady. 3. The Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are... It was interesting where I wanted to rank them. Because they fell short to the Mavs in the final. I mean, in the Western Conference Finals last year. But they also took out the Nuggets, who still had KCP at the point. I think they kind of fizzled out, and they have a Rudy Gobert problem. The problem is Rudy Gobert. I am so polarized on Rudy Gobert. For this team, I understand they do have the best. They're the best defense in the league. And it's also predicated on him. But for this team, is he really needed? His offensive shortcomings are so apparent. So apparent. And I know this team is like based off of defense. But like in like the playoffs, it's like they just were attacking him. On both sides, they were. I mean, it was really bad. He had a bad playoff, like he has before. But Rudy Gobert. But they still have Ant, who's gonna get better. They're a deep team, and they're super positive. One of the biggest problems of the entire run last year was if Mike Conley and Anthony Edwards were not both on the court together, then the offense started to look extremely stagnant. They needed another great ball handler. So who did they add in the draft? They got Rob Dillingham. What a fantastic pick. What a fantastic pick. Now, if he's, again, I said this earlier about the draft, I think in the last video, there's a lot of role players that are play now. Not star players that are give a couple of years. I think you have a lot of role players that are play now, which is super, super different than other drafts, and that's why there's not actually, I don't think there's going to be like a bunch of star players. There might be. I mean, who knows? But you have role players that are playing out, right? Like Rob Dillingham. He is going to be so good as another primary to secondary ball handler on this team. And I actually think that does raise their offensive ceiling, just having another option other than Mike Conley and Anthony Edwards. I know there was talk about trading maybe Gobert or Cat for someone. It's not going to happen. They're going to run it back with his team, and this team is that good. We're going to see what happens. Their defense is still going to be probably the best in the league with McDaniels, Ant. I mean, you've everywhere you look, you're like, oh shit, we have to play against them. Luka just was that good last year. But yeah, I have the T-Wolves at 3. Number 2. OKC. Damn, it was hard putting them at 2. What a fantastic team that they have. They keep all of their guys from last year, the guys that were kind of having a breakout season that are going to be even more ready for this year. J-Dub, Chet, the one guy that looks like Duke Dennis, also Jalen Williams, just talking retarded. Shouldn't say that word. Oh, get a lot moronic. They had a great offseason, though. They won the offseason. They won the offseason. They traded Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso, arguably the best perimeter defender with genuine offensive creation. Fleeced, and they didn't give up any first-round picks. Fleeced. And, they again, like I said, they got Isaiah Hartenstein, one of the heart and souls of the Knicks last year. They filled their only other problem, which was front court depth. I mean, what the hell? Fantastic. Now you have Chet, and maybe you bring Hardenstein off the bench. Oh my gosh! You're like, oh, finally, Chet Holmgren, the guy that would have won Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for Wembanyama. He's that good. Oh, finally, he's on the bench. No, actually, no. Here comes Isaiah Hardenstein, an absolutely fantastic center that plays his role perfectly, rebounding, playing hard-nosed defense. And he also, that little, fucking 5-10-foot little floater he has, fuck that shot! He, scored, 10 in a row on us that one time. Playoffs last year. Ugh. But yeah, OKC's going to be fantastic. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be an MVP caliber player again. J-Dub is going to be even better. Chet Holmgren is going to be even better. And also, I think it's super interesting. They have Alex Caruso on, a deal this year where he's not getting paid yet. They can move someone and get a trade piece this year. They can comfortably move Lu Dort, because Alex Caruso is better than Lu Dort. Because they can comfortably move Lu Dort with Alex Caruso there this season with all their first-round picks. Lu Dort is fantastic. I mean, imagine. They could move to 1 with one simple move, and they already are so close to 1. The problem is they're going against the best GM in the league. They're the second best. This is the best. The Boston Celtics are number 1. The East is top heavy. This is what I'm talking about. You got all these teams at the top. I mean, and this is the big dog. I mean, they have 5 all-star caliber players starting. I mean, and they're perfect. They have perfect chemistry. Jason Tatum is overhated because he's corny. People are like, what is he good at? He's not great at anything. He's great at everything. He can dribble. He's one of the best defenders. He's tall. He can attack the rim. He's not great finishing through contact, but little hater throw in there. He can shoot the ball well, efficiently. And, yeah, he can do everything. And he can be the best player on a team. And guess what? Second, this is the craziest thing. He's like a consensus top 10, top 15 player. And people argue that the second best player on this team is better than him. Jaylen Brown. I mean, again, big guard, can defend, can shoot, can dribble, can pass. And then you have Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is building a real Hall of Fame career with his all-star appearances, with his insane defense, and leading teams to championships. The Bucks, I don't know, should they have traded him? I don't know. Probably not, because he traded in the Celtics. And then you have Derek White, who is like the quintessential all-star role player. He was getting all-star buzz last year because of how efficient he was from 3 and doing everything. He's going to guard every best guard to every even kind of tallish wing. He's switchable, and he's their point guard, and this system works so perfectly. And the cherry on top is the fucking trade for Kristaps Porzingis. Rim deterrent, and he had a historic shooting season for his standards. What else do you want? This team is perfect. And they also have a bunch of white guys that come off the bench and shoot like a motherfucker, which is weird. Kristaps is going down for the first bit of this season, so we'll see what they do for center. Also, oh my God, they just picked up Lonnie Walker. Fuck the Celtics. How did you get him? I mean, I don't want to talk about the Celtics. We're going to lose to them in this playoffs. Or maybe we don't, because Jaylen Brown quits to teach shaman classes, and then Tatum decides to meet his idol Kobe Bryant early. That was a little dark. I don't know why I said that, and I don't mean that. Don't die. Dying is bad. Okay. Yeah, that's it.